Imitation is the sincerest form of purity. Purity is the hallmark of sincerity.
I like purist,
Sincerity?
I like purist form of flattery.
It's not right, though. Let's not kid ourselves. I was wrong.
How important is it to us to keep innovating in our videos?
Not at all.
I would actually say we recently spent some time on a mountain. This is not an analogy. I'm actually telling the truth. We went up on a mountain.
It wasn't a really high mountain. I mean, we didn't need oxygen.
But it was.
And there was a cabin.
Maybe 5,000 feet. We went into a cabin. We stayed in there for 2 days, and we came up with some values that we wanted our content to have. And innovation was one of those things.
Yeah.
Because we want to. I think first of all, when you're working on small budgets, you're working on web budgets. A lot of times you're not going to be able to bring something to the table that's amazing because all this money went into it. I mean, some of our very first ideas, like T-shirt war or 2 Guys 600 Pillows, which people still point to as, oh, those are really, no one else did that, no one else has done that. Those are very, very cheap videos to produce because all we had was the idea and the innovation. So we kind of started with that mentality that what we're gonna bring to the table is something that somebody hasn't done before, or some new perspective, not, a really expensive video.
And I mean, you say the pillow video was cheap, but we had to get 600 pillows.
That's true.
We did have a sponsor who gave us the pillows.
Yeah.
But I think that the point is you never know what's going to work on this medium, and it doesn't require a lot of money. It does require creativity. And if you're doing something that no one's ever done that's a great idea, then, well, that's a great idea. So we try to keep doing that. You want to come up with that thing somebody hasn't done. You want to innovate.
Have we done things that haven't worked, and have we learned from them? Yes. We haven't ever, I believe, made a video that we got to a point where we're like, well, we're not going to release this. We always put it out there.
I think it's probably happened, but we've erased it from our memory because you don't want to dwell on the things that didn't work, but you do want to learn from them. I mean, when we did the Mythical Show, which was a 30-minute variety show this past summer, our idea was to have a studio audience. We were right here, and we had all these people over here. We thought it would be a good idea. It would add energy in the room. But then we put that episode up, all of the comments were about how no one liked the audience. So it turned out to be a bad idea. I think the conclusion was, after kind of finding the collective wisdom of the comments, was the audience on the other side of the camera wanted us to be making this show for them, and we kind of ended up playing it up too much for these people who were in the room. So it seemed like the show wasn't for them, it was for people in the room, and the people behind the camera were just observers along for the ride kind of thing. But that wasn't clear to us until we read it in the comments. And I said the collective wisdom because, a lot of people, they're not the most articulate in the comments.
Really?
And they might be a little rude in the comments. But as creators, I think there's things that there's things that we're looking for that are questions in our mind that they can confirm or disconfirm, and that was kind of one of them.
I think, we've operated on the principle that it's better to learn the lesson through the experience than it is to just guess that something's not going to work. So have we made mistakes? Yes, we've made a lot of mistakes, and a lot of the videos that we actually thought were great ideas at the time, we look back and we realized they were mistakes too. And sometimes it's a very obvious lesson, like don't have a live audience when you're making an internet show, which I think that's almost a rule at this point, because that's one of the differences between like a late night show where it's all about the audience there, and it's a television vibe, versus something where there's a connection with the viewer. We also learned really early, one of the first lessons we learned was we embedded a music video in a much longer video. We embedded our Facebook song in a podcast type video, like an 8 or 9 minute video where we were talking and then we cut to a music video. And then a couple of weeks later, we released the music video on its own, and it started getting hundreds of thousands of views and eventually millions of views. Just understanding how the internet works, we've had to kind of learn that by making a lot of mistakes and packaging things wrong.
I'm very encouraged when we get emails or tweets that we are inspirational to other people who are just in whatever walk of life. They may not be trying to make videos, or they may be trying to make videos. I think it's we're just expressing who we are and the ideas that we have, and we're just trying things, and we want to convey that we're having fun, and that there's a friendship here, and that I think people like that and are inspired by that, and I'm thankful for it. I don't know that I've seen people emulate us. Imitation is the purest form of flattery. Is that how the saying goes?
Purest, best, purest. Both work, kind of.
But that hasn't happened, so we haven't had like the most pure. We haven't been flattered purely.
Well, I think one of the interesting things about making videos on the internet is that you're making them for other creators. Unlike television, where there's the disconnected audience, and I think that it's very much a consumer-driven thing. The thing that we've learned as we've interacted with our fans and we've seen their comments and their questions is that a lot of times it's coming from a creator's perspective, meaning that the reason they like watching or listening to our podcast Ear Biscuits when we talk to other YouTube creators is not just so they can know more about this person that they perceive as a celebrity, but because they are personally inspired by hearing the story of someone kind of making something happen that had access to the same tools that they have access to. As a person who has a YouTube account, you have all the technical tools that we have in order to make videos, because we are our own network. We make the decisions about what videos we're going to put up and what videos we're not going to put up, unlike traditional media where you have to go through all these gatekeepers. So I hope that that's inspirational to people, because they can see that, like, oh, these guys do what I could do. And I definitely sense that from our fan interaction.
Hey, we're Rhett and Link.
We run the Rhett and Link and the Good Mythical Morning channel.
Good Mythical Morning is a daily talk show from this locale.
Today we're going to talk about how to stay happy on YouTube.
Assuming that we are happy.
I am.
First of all.